Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today at All Things Health and Wealth with Kiara Ducasse, where we guide you on everything relating to health and wealth and how you can keep yourself in a state of abundance through consistent and simple key habits that will transform your life. Today, we have an awesomely special guest and a very long-time friend of mine, Lisa Davis. She is an absolutely wonderful star on this earth. She is an ethereal being like none other. She has a wonderful energy. She has been in the health and wellness game for a number of years, as far back even as I can remember. And she runs her own wonderful enterprise or business called Lisa Lifetrain, or at least Lifetrain, and it is absolutely wonderful. She trains people, she coaches people, and of course we're going to delve more into that in this wonderful interview with Lisa. So with all this wonderful news being said, I come to the most important question of today. Lisa, how are you doing?
First of all, thank you so much for such a lovely intro, and I'm fantastic. I'm good. I'm transitioning through some beautiful things. I've just completed a whole bunch of beautiful projects. So yeah, I'm feeling really rooted and grounded in my being. And overall, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's Welcome, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today at All Things Health and Wealth with Kiara Ducasse, where we guide you on everything relating to health and wealth and how you can keep yourself in a state of abundance through consistent and simple key habits that will transform your life. Today, we have an awesomely special guest and a very long-time friend of mine, Lisa Davis. She is an absolutely wonderful star on this earth. She is an ethereal being like none other. She has a wonderful energy. She has been in the health and wellness game for a number of years, as far back even as I can remember. And she runs her own wonderful enterprise or business called Lisa Lifetrain, or at least Lifetrain. And it is absolutely wonderful. She trains people, she coaches people. And of course, we're going to delve more into that in this wonderful interview with Lisa. So with all this wonderful news being said, I come to the most important question of today. Lisa, how are you doing?
First of all, thank you so much for such a lovely intro, and I'm fantastic. I'm good. I'm transitioning through some beautiful things. I've just completed a whole bunch of beautiful projects. So yeah, I'm feeling really rooted and grounded in my being. And overall, I'm feeling pretty good.
That's awesome. You're looking radiant. You're looking stunning as usual. And you have this wonderful energy that you have always carried around with you. Always a happy smile on your face, always bubbly, always laughing. And absolutely love seeing that. I love being around your energy. And of course, we haven't spoken a little while, but it's really good to connect with you again. And I'm really excited for this interview. I definitely believe we are going to share a lot of abundant information with this audience. And let's hope that our audience enjoys this as best as possible. And we share this out with the wonderful world out there, because they need to know what you have to give them. Okay.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Excellent. Okay. So Lisa, tell me, what kind of person do you describe yourself to be?
What kind of a person do I describe myself to be? I would describe myself as a human hummingbird. So I bring a lot of color and joy and sweet medicine to people's lives.
Awesome. Of course you do, with that happiness and that wonderful nature. So I just wanted to let you know as well, you are officially the first lady that I have on the show. So thank you for being here with me and joining me on the show here. So you are the first one to take that. Yeah.
Yeah, for the girls.
Yeah, for them. You're the fantastic one that can support them, right? You have that wonderful energy to support them. So Lisa, try to describe yourself in 3 words.
In 3 words. Electric, humble, inspiring.
Wonderful. I can definitely relate to you in that aspect. You are certainly those to me as well. And I absolutely love your work. I follow you all the time on your social pages too. I see what you're always up to, and you carry a lot of beautiful energy that the world needs to know. And in times like we're going through right now, people need to be around people like you. So yeah, of course, sharing that wonderful energy with people is something else. But how we come forward in this show is we want to draw out as much information in your life that could help benefit our audience and people out there that need to know this kind of information relating to health and wealth. So I've got some pretty cool questions for you coming later on in the show, but tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses, and how do you handle your weaknesses? Just give me 3 of each.
Okay, perfect. So I don't know if you want me to tell everybody what I do.
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that would just be relevant to set some form of a context for everyone.
Definitely.
So I'm a body, mind, heart, and spirit coach. So I help people access all different parts of themselves, as well as to really understand what self-love means. So to me, self-love isn't just about getting a manicure and pedicure and rubbing some salts on your body. It is really about being able to witness all parts of yourself, the parts that you think are beautiful and the parts that you're unsure of, the icky sticky, I like to call them, those parts that you hide from the world that you may feel ashamed of. And for me, self-love is about being able to witness yourself in your wholeness and to love all parts of yourself. And how is it that we do that? So in my coaching processes, I do a lot of things like deep shadow work, holding spaces and ceremonies for people to go to those uncomfortable parts within themselves, because we are these magnificent, intricate, interesting, completely dimensional human beings. And there's so much more to us than just the light and lovey-dovey side, and for me, that is what I hold space for people to see is their wholeness. So you wanted to know, the question was?
Well, first of all, just let me comment on your introduction to yourself there. Absolutely wonderful. I know many people that thoroughly enjoy the work that you do with them, and you really have a wonderful space. You can hold your space. I've known you for a number of years. Your confidence levels are right up there where they need to be for somebody in your position. So thanks for sharing that. Your 3 strengths and 3 weaknesses, and how do you handle your weaknesses?
Sure. So let's start with the strengths, because I think that's always the easy part for us to look at. So my strength would definitely be, I am a visionary. So I'm really good at coming up with ideas and seeing them through. I am a strong manifester. So being able to be the alchemist of my own life and being able to bring and access these aspects and paths to myself. And I'm really good at being able to hold space for others through witnessing, through seeing them. And in the seeing and the witnessing of others, they get to witness themselves. So that is my strengths. And my weaknesses would be, my weaknesses would be, sometimes I'm a little bit too hasty. So sometimes I'm trying to manipulate things to try and make things happen sooner than they should, instead of waiting for beautiful divine timing. And then I can get really upset and frustrated with myself. A second weakness of mine would be, second weakness of mine. Good questions, Kiara.
Take your time. There's
Yeah, it's quite a difficult thing, right? Because I do so much shadow work. It's like those things that I've had to witness and see as weaknesses have kind of become integrated parts of myself, if you get what I'm saying.
Of course.
But obviously I do have I can totally procrastinate as well on things. So I can procrastinate on things and leave things to the last minute. And my third thing would be, sometimes I think that I have limiting beliefs around things like my capacity to charge large amounts for my services, you know, in terms of what I'm seeing international coaches do and my level of work that I know that I have to offer as a service, and how I really believe that the value that I add is worth the amount that international coaches are charging. But sometimes I'm like, I'm South African. Are people going to pay those prices? So that would definitely be a weakness. And how I get through these things, procrastination. I try and really help myself by each and every single day reconnecting to my vision. What is it that I want for my life? Where is it that I'm going? And to know that those things aren't just going to happen, right? I have to make those things happen for myself. From a self-worth perspective, in terms of how I'm charging, each and every single time I launch a container or I launch a product, I will always put the price mark up, because slowly but surely I'm getting to that point. And it's a journey, right? It really is a journey. And slowly but surely I'm getting to that point of realizing my worth. And when people have deep shifts within the containers that I hold and the spaces that I hold, then I realize that I hold deep, strong containers and spaces. And that gives me the sense of self-worth. What was the last one?
It was procrastination. Your last one. Oof. Give me a moment again. Yeah. Interesting. Procrastination and limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs.
Yes, that was the charging around my worth aspect. The last one, was a procrastination. And that's connecting to my vision.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. That's all good. Lisa, so with what you've just gone and shared with us, obviously all the shadow work that you're doing has a fundamental role in how you respond as a coach or a leader too. You obviously see things when you're holding these containers, and obviously that's a mirror reflection, and you obviously get to handle and work through your own stuff at the same time that you're holding the space and the containers. As a coach, how do you manage yourself in those circumstances? Obviously, because as a coach, you have to stand and hold your space, right? So maybe just share that a little bit of that, please.
Are you talking into when I am coaching a client and I'm being shown things, I'm being mirrored things, and for instance, there's a sense of projection going on?
Exactly.
Okay, beautiful. So for someone like myself, I'm constantly always in some form of a process and transitioning through something. I think that actually might also be one of my more weaknesses, because it's like I always am looking at my life and analyzing things and seeing the external world as a mirror representation of an internal manifestation of something that's going on inside of me. So the world gets to mirror back to me where it is that I'm currently at. So for me, it's about having deep self-awareness to be able to witness and acknowledge what is going on externally, and then to allow myself to witness what is going on internally. I'll give you an example.
Wow.
Recently, I have been attracting all these male coaching clients who all have an issue with intimacy, and intimacy is into me, I see. So we cannot allow ourselves to be intimate with others if we cannot allow ourselves to really fully feel safe within our own intimacy and seeing into ourselves. And intimacy comes from childhood and not feeling safe emotionally, not feeling safe to be able to express your needs, your desires, who it is that you are, or growing up in families and households where you were not physically or emotionally safe. So it's been interesting for me to see this pattern, right, of all of these men coming to me for coaching where they themselves are afraid to open up their hearts fully, and they're afraid to allow themselves to really fully be witnessed and seen. And it's like these blockages that they see. You know, why won't I let myself open up my heart and really get close to this beautiful woman or person that I'm seeing? They keep everyone at arm's length. And I've been working through this myself. You know, I mean, you know me, I'm like the continuous single human being on this planet.
You have been single for a long time. Yeah.
Oh my God, like my whole life, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, sure. I mean, I've been single since I'm just turned 33 a couple of days ago, and I've been properly single since I was 25. Had maybe one little dabble of a relationship, but that's about it. And, you know, for me, it's this idea of, okay, so if I deeply desire a relationship, what is going on inside of me that is stopping me from manifesting this beautiful human into my life? One is divine timing, of course, but two, when I started to see all these male coaching clients come to me with the same issue, that for me is patterning, right? And everything works on patterning. That's how our mind works. So our brain notices patterns. We create these patterns that then become a blueprint. Often these blueprints are unconscious. So what's so beautiful is that we're incredibly designed to be able to see and acknowledge our blueprints, or what it is that we're running on, through what is the world is showing back to us through this projection, right? So for me, it's about when I come into contact with clients, because it's a vibrational thing. It's a frequency thing. So as a coach, you will only ever attract clients who you've either just shifted that thing that they're working through, or you're shifting that thing that they are shifting, and you two are a vibrational match for one another. So it's like, let's say you had abundance blocks, and now you've shifted your abundance, and you're a mindset coach around abundance. You will obviously attract those types of clients. So, you know, for myself, I attract a lot of clients who really want to do deep shadow work, because that's my niche. And then obviously now what I've seen and witnessed is that I'm attracting these types of men because obviously I too have a deep-seated intimacy issue. Because it's very easy for me to be out here, to be like, hey, world, this is me. But the second someone like, you know, if you had to say to me, Lisa, if your dream man had to arrive right now and he had to sit in front of you and hold space for you and give you everything that you need and want to look into your soul, oh my gosh, Kira, I think I'd be absolutely petrified. Like, I'm like, whoa, I don't know right now. Like this, woo, you know. So it's interesting. It's fascinating. So for me, I'm constantly checking myself through what it is that's being mirrored to me.
Wow. That's absolutely beautiful. You've shared a very, very beautiful information there. I believe a lot of people are going to be relating to that. I do believe a lot of people do struggle with intimacy. Etymology is obviously the breakdown of the English language or any language, and we can obviously find where that intimacy comes from and looking into yourself. So that's very beautiful. I do see that you as a coach obviously need to hold your space, be strong, but there are going to be times where perhaps the person that you're coaching does have a certain character strength that might be portrayed as something that obviously, like you just said, shocks you and almost reveals a typical kind of energy to you. And yeah, in that moment, of course, you've got to hold yourself and know that, okay, well, I'm in this moment. I gotta accept that. And I saw something in myself, but This is not about me well, as much as it is about me, it's about you in this space, and I'm learning about me too. And it really is a very beautiful space. I love to know that there are people out there in the world like yourself that really can help this world through typically coaching. So just going back a little bit to how you charge for your self-worth, right? Obviously, there's a number of people around me actually in my small circles that are going through very similar instances where they perhaps don't feel the worthiness to charge that value that they are actually worth. And it is quite a thing, because it's breaking boundaries or barriers within self to know that, well, I've skilled myself, I should be charging a little bit more on this round, etc., etc. And as the cycle goes on, we certainly build and grow that confidence to be able to charge more, right? So I'm very happy to hear that you are getting into the groove of that. That really makes me smile, because it's been something that even me and our businesses, we've also gone through, where we typically don't, or we give a discount, too much of a discount, or we charge the customer much less, because there's an almost an empathetic relation to that feeling. And there's perhaps a lack of confidence in that the client might think, okay, that's a bit too much, or it's a bit too expensive. And then you may lose the client, which is, of course, is a catch-22, right? So you want the client, but at the end of the day, people that see the value in what you're doing and what you offer will pay what is due. And that essentially, as much as figures in our bank account help us in this physical reality, right? We also have an ethereal part, and that ethereal part is the energy exchange, and that is far more valuable than the actual physical currency. So I really love that, Lisa. So Lisa, tell me, are you reading at the moment? Reading any books at the moment? Cool. What is that book?
So I'm reading two books at the moment. So the one is called Pussy, A Reclamation for Women.
Wonderful.
One of the most amazing books I've ever read, that every woman needs to read, because it's just blowing my mind. And the second book is a book called Untamed by Glenn Doyle. And both of these books speak into this beautiful awakening that us as a collective of women are going through as we begin to transition from a patriarchal back into a matriarchal-led society. So it is this beautiful collective awakening that women are going through at this time of discovering the innate power that, and I'm going to say it as it is because it's a word that needs to be reowned, but it's like the innate power that we hold within our bodies and our energetic spaces and our pussies. Like, it's really this thing that women need to awaken to. So those are the two books that I'm currently reading.
The yoni, the beautiful yoni, right? That's one of the most beautiful aspects of this entire realm. It's what brings and births what we see, right? So absolutely
exactly
beautiful. Nice. Tell me what your all-time favorite book is.
Sure, my all-time favorite book.
And why?
Gosh, there's so many, but one that stands out through my lifetime, of one that really made an impact for me since I was a child, is Tuesdays with Morrie.
Oh, cool. Never heard of that. Tell me a little bit. Tell us why.
It's this beautiful story of this young guy who has this conversation, these daily conversations with this older gentleman who, I haven't read it for so many years, but I think he passes in the end. And it's just this beautiful story about life. And yeah, it's a really special book. So I love that. And then The Four Agreements is also just such a beautiful book. I really love things that just remind you to, it's so simple, beautiful 4 agreements to remind you of just how to keep yourself on track,
Definitely. Absolutely can relate to that. So Lisa, tell me, I know you're a fantastically busy woman every day, whether it's for self or coaching. What is your biggest motivator, and what motivates you to keep going?
What motivates me to keep going? I would have to say my commitment to sharing my medicine with the world.
Amazing.
I spent so many years healing myself and integrating parts or aspects of myself that were deeply wounded from my childhood. And, what it is that I believe that I share and that I teach, well, not really teach because I'm just being a mirror to awaken this in other humans, is that each and every single one of us have a medicine or a unique signature frequency. And I believe that our objective as a human being is to discover our medicine, use it on ourselves, and then share it with the world. And once we do that, what happens is we begin to unpeel the layers of ourselves and we find that medicine, that unique frequency. And then we get to begin to share that with the world. And as we step into our authentic truth and our authentic power, we give others the permission to step into their power by finding their own medicine. And then it's just this chain reaction effect of one another stepping into our truth and our power. So what keeps me motivated each and every single day is to have that vision. So often I ask people and clients, what do you want? And people don't know what they want because they don't know who they are. So it is this beautiful understanding of always knowing who it is that you are. So it's like on a daily basis, dropping into myself and really allowing myself that connection, and then to keep myself and my vision top of mind. And that is to share what it is that I have with the world.
That's absolutely beautiful. So, this entire world, you're in a really good space currently. And with what's happened in the world, there's a massive shift, a massive transition, pre and post the big C. Let's not bring that into our conversation, because that's a highlight in everybody's conversation. But what I really want to know is what do you do on a daily basis to manage your stress? And yeah, I'd like to know what you do as the coach of your life.
Beautiful. So what's really important for me is to have daily practices, because, it's something that seems so far-fetched and superfluous, yet is so simple, is this idea that all we have is now in this moment. And, that beautiful saying, I am that I am. And it's something that recently landed for me in a conversation of the things that cause us anxiety or feelings of guilt is living in the past or living in the future. So daily practices is an opportunity to anchor ourselves into the present. So some of my daily practices are to have daily check-ins, to really check in with myself, to ask myself, how am I feeling? What is going on inside of me? And to create spaces for myself in order to shift whatever's going on inside of me, to anchor myself into the earth on a daily basis. So I do things like meditation, breath work, journaling practices. I do a lot of dance medicine, a lot of dance medicine. And then obviously, as you know, my whole life I've been lifting weights and doing CrossFit and real masculine muscle building things. But I've also recently softened a lot. So for instance, my dance practices and my dance medicine allows me to balance those two energies of the masculine and the feminine. So for me on a daily basis, it's incredibly important to have rituals and practices, because it's through those rituals and practices that we allow ourselves to become present and allow ourselves to be in a state of being.
That's what you're blowing me away here. I love your energy. You definitely have so much wonderful energy to share with our audience and this world. I really hope that your coaching goes from where it is to another level. And yeah, hopefully we can link up always in this kind of way, communicate and really help each other and help this world to manifest the growth and relieve themselves of the unwanted energy of this earth. So obviously you just said that you meditate and you do journaling. My next question for you is obviously, how do you take care of your mental health? Would you consider meditation and journaling as something that really takes care of the mind?
Absolutely. I think as human beings, the one thing that we don't allow ourselves to acknowledge is that if we have a mind, we all need to take care of our mental health, just like our physical health, just like our well-being. Our mind also needs to be taken care of. And, I've seen this. I have worked with clients who run huge, big corporations and have millions in the bank. And then I've worked with clients who run small little businesses and are battling to make ends meet every single month. But the common thread that every single human being has is that if you have a mind, you need to take care of your mental health, because all of us have that roommate inside of our head that are saying things to us, And for me, mental health is incredibly important, because I've even noticed it, when I can go through slumps and I can go into comparison, or, looking on social media and seeing how other coaches are launching these incredible things and getting books published. And then this roommate in my head is like, you're not good enough. And these old blueprints get activated. And for me, it's really about the awareness of your mental state at any given moment. And it's like when your mental state takes a dip, then it's really about taking more time each and every single day to focus on that. So number one for mental health is awareness. And I truly believe this. The only way in which we can get to know our mind is by witnessing, watching, and observing our mind. I don't believe personally that you can really truly know yourself. There are these people that say, no, but you can do a walking meditation, or you can go for a run and that's your meditation. For me, I personally don't believe that, because it is the act of sitting in silence and stillness with your eyes closed, where you begin to scan your internal landscape. Only then can you become the observer of your truth, the witness to who it is that you are. And that's why meditation has changed my life. I'll give you an example. So for the past, since the beginning of the C word, everybody's lives around me externally have changed in some way. So moved house, got a new boyfriend, had a baby, like all of these things have externally changed. And I found myself lately getting really frustrated that nothing in my external world has changed. I internally have changed. And it wasn't a comparison thing as much. It was more of a frustration thing. And then all of my friends who were also stuck with the shifting of their external world, last week, literally all of them started to have these shifts. And I was like, come on, what more do I need to do? I've done the energy work, I've done the clearing, I've done all these things. Like, come on, universe, just give me something to work with. And last night I sat in meditation and I asked these deep questions. And the beautiful thing about meditation is that we don't have to externally look for the answers. We don't have to go and pay someone to coach us through something. It's like, this is our beautiful inner wisdom keeper. And when we tap into this menagerie of magic and wonder, we can access these beautiful answers. And last night when I sat and I closed my eyes and I was feeling still a little bit frustrated, and this inner voice said to me, Lisa, you're on the right track. And what it is that you are wanting to create in the world and birth into the world is not a fly-by-night something. It's something incredibly special that is going to impact hundreds of thousands of people. But these types of things don't happen overnight. So in each and every single moment and interaction, you need to be honorable, and your intention needs to be the intent that comes from your heart. And in this realization, I had this beautiful light bulb went off saying that you've got this, be patient. Everything will happen when it's supposed to. And it's only your ego mind that is wanting things to happen in timing that you cannot control. because we cannot control anything.
No. Well, there's minor things that we can control, but very seldomly, yes. The universe, and as you said at the beginning of the session, Mercury's just gone into retrograde, right? So what kind of things does this bring up? It brings down a slowing down of many processes, which of course has an effect. And I can relate to you because earlier on you said one of your traits was to be hasty in getting the things that you want. 100% I can relate to that because I'm an instant manifester myself. And when I think of something into the universe, I will look for it, I will find it, and I try and make it happen within instance. But sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. Sometimes we have to have that patience, right, to really just unfold slowly and let the universe just drop the little pellets as it needs to, the little trail, the little breadcrumbs, and we just got to follow the process and trust the divine will help us along that journey. I want to know
exactly.
I want to know from you, but through all of this, it sounds as though there is a wonderful, and I have to ask this question in a way. There's an inner wealth that is so important. And this show, I directly relate both health and wealth in one basket. And why do I say that? Well, at the same time, your health can carry you into a state of abundant wealth. Your wealth at a later point can also create an abundance of health. That is a financial aspect of life. What I'm hearing you speak about is a true inner wealth. Could you just tell me a little bit more about what you consider in your life to be wealth?
That's a really great question because sometimes my ego mind will look at wealth and abundance in terms of a financial perspective. And I grew up in a household with a single mother. We lived hand to mouth. So I've had to really work on my money story and my abundance blueprint for many, many, many years. You know, I got myself into a lot of debt. This is the first year that I started investing and bought some crypto. And it's like, I'm really seeing this change in my life. But regards to like what wealth really is, you know, I live my dream life each and every single day. I wake up, I have energy. I wake up and do what I love. You know, the other day when I had this moment of, I call it Vicky the victim, when I was being Vicky the victim. And I was like, why is nothing in my life changing? And I had just logged off a call. And in that day, I had taken 20 individuals through a 21-day process that morning, all before 7:30. Then I taught 20 individuals who are from the banking industry all about mindfulness. And then that night, I took 7 women through this women's coaching container. So literally by the end of the day, I had helped 50 people in different aspects, varying things, coaching them through processes. And I was
Incredible.
Like, whoa. Like, who gets to say that they do that? Yeah. Who gets to say that they woke up, they had their own time, they trained their body, they have created their dream life, and they are getting paid to help people. Like, I am living my dream life. And to me, that is what true wealth is. Do you have freedom? Are you able and capable to live life according to your own time and your own plans? Are you healthy? Do you put time and effort into your mental health as well as your physical health? You know, I'm never sick. Touch wood. I did get the C, by the way, which was incredibly humbling because I didn't think I'd ever get it. But I'm incredibly healthy. You know, it's not often that I am sick. I think when I actually went for my C test, I hadn't gone to a doctor for probably 2 decades that I had to write down on the test like my childhood doctor. And the last time I saw her, I must have been about 13.
Wow. Sure.
And for me, that's real wealth. You know, it's like, am I free to be who I want to be? Am I getting to express my medicine in the world each and every single day? Am I helping people? Is there an abundance of community and support and love? Am I getting to live my authentic expression, signature frequency, and just being who I am and showing up in the world? And yeah, do I have the time to get to experience the world as I want to experience it? And I get to do all of those things. So I think I'm pretty wealthy.
That is true and absolutely abundant wealth. I would 100% agree with that. You pointed out something earlier on that, so it kind of leads on to my next question. Do you believe that your health has an important role in your performance in your business, and why is that?
Absolutely. When was it? This past weekend, I ran a festival, and because we were at a festival, I decided that I was going to eat pizza and things that like I don't usually eat. Not that pizza's bad at all, but I eat incredibly clean. I also don't eat meat because I just like to keep my system clean. It just helps me with my vibration. And also I work with a lot of spirit in my coaching sessions. So it's just incredibly important for me to have that openness in those channels in my body. I find that when I am not healthy, or that, for instance, when my gut is clogged and I'm feeling heavy, I cannot show up in the world with clarity and precision and focus. So my health is everything. You know, it's like immediately when I feel down or I feel unwell, I know that I am not in complete alignment. And if I'm not in complete alignment, then it is very hard for me to share my medicine and to hold space for others. So our health is everything.
100%. That's absolutely beautiful. I know we're kind of heading on to the end of our interview very soon. I really have to ask you these two questions very quickly, and then I need you to, at the end, please leave 3 tips for the audience. But let me do one thing at a time here. The first question is, okay, first a statement actually. With what you've just said, have you had a calling yet from a traditional healer's perspective, a Sangoma perspective? Because what you've just said is pretty much that.
In terms of would I twassa?
Yes. Sounds like you already have.
So the path that I have chosen to walk along is a shamanic journey.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Thank you.
And I really want to learn more about African medicines. And there have been moments where I felt this calling to maybe I should walk along the path of Sangoma to Twassa. But right now it's not calling me as my specific chosen medicine. And for a very long time, I have been trained under a lot of really incredible shamanic teachers. So
absolutely beautiful. I've myself been going through a Twassa journey for both Etan and myself for the past 2 years. Our gogos are absolutely wonderful. Togos to them. And yeah, we were really guided on that beautiful ancestry energy as well. Of course, with what we do in our businesses is very much relating to medicine and food and health around that. And it's been such a beautiful journey. And I can say I've been learning tremendous amounts. So going back to the relation to health and wealth, do you find that there's a connection between health and wealth?
Yes, I absolutely believe that there's a connection between health and wealth. Because if you are not healthy, then you energetically can't attract, right? Because it's like when you are healthy, your vibration is high. And your wealth is a mirror reflection of your state of being internally. So when you are healthy, then you are going to be shown that through the wealth that you can manifest and the container that you get to hold. So we are all containers. And this container inside of us allows us to hold only so much. But if your container is healthy, then the container expands and you can hold more wealth.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love that energy. You just said that you got into crypto. What are the two of your favorite cryptos?
Oh, sure. I'm just going through easy equities and I'm doing the EC10 bundles. So they kind of give me a little heads up of what's good. So I wouldn't be able to give you that much detail.
All right.
To be honest.
Sure. Maybe that's
something you're going to have to teach me about.
Fair enough. One day we'll have another session and we can talk about crypto. I absolutely love crypto. I'm heavily invested in crypto. And I've seen magic come from crypto, and I believe the world will change because of crypto. So, okay, Lisa, tell me the last question I have for you is, please, can you leave our audience with 3 tips relating to health?
3 tips relating to health. 1, fasting, intermittent fasting. I can just feel when I intermittent fast, my clarity, my brain fog leaves me. I wake up according to the natural cycles of my body. I love it. 2, to have a daily practice, no matter what that looks like. Because a daily practice is going to allow you to see where you are out of alignment. And it is only with deep awareness that we can create change. So we can't choose where we want to be unless we know where it is that we are. So to have a daily practice. And number 3, eat high vibrational food. And every time you put that food into your body, acknowledge the food and the energy that it's giving you, to have deep reverence and reciprocity for the food that we get from the earth. Because we are just these beautiful meat sacks filled with light. And, these vessels are everything. And if this vessel is out of balance, then we stop ourselves from accessing the divine consciousness source, like the tree of light, tree of life or light. And it's like we stop ourselves from being able to access source and consciousness, and then being able to bring that through, right? Because this human experience is about being able to have a spiritual experience and a physical experience. So having that connection, allowing yourself to become aware, open yourself up, and to watch what we're putting into this vessel, including your relationships. A big one for health. I've got another one. What you are putting into your mind. I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. And I believe that makes people incredibly sick. So it's like this, what are you feeding this on a daily basis? That's your environment that you're in, your relationships, as well as what content you're filling your mind with.
Absolutely stunning. I love it. Lisa, this truly, what a wonderful energy you carry. I absolutely love this. I haven't even got to 1/10 of what I really want to carry on with you, but please tell us how our audience can get in touch with you and obviously follow you on your channels. And of course, I'll share the links in the comments below.
Beautiful. Well, you're more than welcome to have me back anytime. I love chatting to you. The best way to follow me and to see my crazy antics and all my dancing and the goodness that I have to share with the world is to follow me on Instagram. That is at Lisa Lifetrain. Alternatively, you can go and check me out. My website currently is www.lifetrain.co.za. But by the end of October, I'm launching and shifting my brand from Lifetrain to Lisa Lifetrain. So it will be lisalifetrain.com, because I'm hopefully going to be a published author by the end of the year, and hopefully. I'm also launching a whole bunch of online courses that you can purchase, and they're going to be self-study. So there's a whole big transformation happening here.
That's absolutely incredible. Lisa, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us on the All Things Health and Wealth show today. We truly appreciate your energy, your love, your kindness, and your willingness to share this completely valuable and important information with the world, especially with up and coming or young entrepreneurs that need to know the ins and outs of keeping themselves healthy and allowing them to prepare the boldness and the patience to build their ultimate health and wealth. There are absolutely no shortcuts in life to your dreams. There is only discipline and dedication, right? Really, thank you so much for being on our show. And I certainly look forward to having another one with you sometime soon. All right.
Thank you, my special friend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And you too. To our audience, hit your comments in the comment section below. We'd love to hear what you thought about this wonderful interview with Lisa. And go have yourselves a healthy, happy, wonderful day. Love and light and blessings to you all. Ciao, Lisa. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, my love.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.